Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to my presentation today. My name is Max, and I'll be speaking to you today about a subject that I am really passionate about, which is the augmented reality technology and innovation that we're seeing happen in front of our eyes. So when we think about these new terms like metaverse and all these new buzzwords that we hear out there, there's so many aspects of it, but today we're going to talk about augmented reality specifically. And so to begin with, I'd like to start with some basic definitions of what is augmented reality, why is it different, or what's the role that augmented reality has within this conversation about metaverses and about the future of the digital world. And so to begin with, just to have a very simple definition, and then we'll take a look at a more maybe complete definition of what augmented reality is. But in the simplest form, augmented reality is just a digital layer that is overlaid on top of the real world, on top of the physical world that we see around us. And one of the key differences with augmented reality and other technologies that we hear about today, like metaverses and virtual reality, is that your customers are using augmented reality today. And we're going to see some data behind this to prove it. But that's one of the main differences, is that augmented reality is not some distant technology of the future that's coming 10 years from now, 5 years from now. It's not this vision that we have. It's actually a reality. It's happening today, whether we realize it or not. And again, we'll take a look at some examples of how much people are using augmented reality, how are they using augmented reality, and how can you use it for your business to really start to embrace this new technology. Another key point with augmented reality is that while a lot of people are using it today, it's also steadily growing very fast. So over the next 2-3 years, it is expected that 75% of the global population is going to be using augmented reality with a very high frequency. You can see here some of that data for the current year. There's already mass scale in this technology. And again, that's one of the main differentiators with other technologies we hear about, whether that's, again, VR, metaverses, these other kind of new things that are coming around. Augmented reality has been around for a while and really has mass scale today. Some other differences between augmented reality and maybe old formats or old ways of using technology is that augmented reality is all about living a story, being part of that story, and not just being a passive audience member that is just listening to a great story. With augmented reality, you can really live in and take part in that storytelling. And one of the differences with VR specifically is that VR is more about escaping from the real world or creating a completely new world, versus augmented reality, which is really about engaging with our real world. And we really believe that the world is great and beautiful, right, and wonderful, and it offers many great things. And so instead of really escaping the great real world that we live in, we think it's much better to think about how can we make that world even richer, even better, by augmenting that with augmented reality. Here's one example of what we're doing at my company, and how we're using augmented reality to make the real world a little bit better for users, giving users new utilities, new use cases, and also giving businesses new tools and ways to connect with consumers. And so the company that I'm representing here today is Snap Inc., which we call a camera company. You might have heard Snap being positioned as a camera company. And we're most well known by our main product, which is Snapchat, a mobile application, a software, a camera software. And there's many use cases for Snapchat, which you may be aware. We have a map, and the map is filled with avatars, which is great within kind of this new metaverse conversation. We've had avatars for many years within our platform. We have a chat functionality. A lot of people forget that chat, is in the name of the application. So one of the main use cases of the application is to chat with your close friends. And then we have stories, great content. We have Spotlight, so a lot of really great viral content that users can watch. But the main functionality of Snapchat is really the camera, which is the center screen, and is the thing that you see every time you open the application is this camera. And it's where users are playing with augmented reality and using all these experiences today. Other than Snapchat, we also have spectacles, which are our AR glasses, camera enhanced, and with displays within the glasses themselves. And we've been developing this hardware product, for many years now. We started the journey back in 2016, and just last year we released our first version of fully AR-enabled camera glasses that we really think are going to be the future. And I'll give you a quick glimpse here on what are we doing with this kind of product and how augmented reality looks like in this product that is available again today. It's not a product of the future, it's a product of the present.
The possibilities of AR are alive and endless. With every advance in tech, we actually allow humanity to express itself more fully with each other, more connected.
Come here.
So what wearable AR means for the future is that computers are going to start to see from a more human perspective. When you couple that with voice ML,
Yes.
3D hand tracking, connected lenses, no longer is the brain just in your pocket. You're now allowing technology to see from your own perspective.
The way that we interact with the physical world is with our hands. So that's why hand tracking is a very important step in merging the digital and physical world together.
Voice ML is going to give us the opportunity to have a frictionless interface.
Let's try this one. Place it here.
We can very easily call up anything that we need at any point. Orange.
Make that gesture with your hand and you'll plant the seed.
You're going to have new experiences that are all just based on words in new ways.
Connected lenses is simply about bringing people together in a shared space. I imagine a world where people are more connected and go out and explore together.
Lens Studio makes developing for AR more accessible for creators by lowering all the barriers to entry. And with these advancements in technology, we're actually allowing us to express what's been inside all along and open opportunities that were not even possible. Create the world you want to see.
So that's about our spectacles product, and we're going to break down a bit, some of the things that we were able to see in this product, in this video. And we're going to talk for the rest of the presentation about all of the augmented reality features and offerings that we have here at Snap. And again, how you can leverage this for your business, understanding how consumers are using it. So as I had mentioned before, I'd love to give a bit more specific definition of what augmented reality is. And so I'll read just a couple of the words that are here on the screen, but essentially augmented reality uses machine learning through the camera to be able to identify or track objects and recognize what they are. So through machine learning, the camera is able to recognize if what it's looking at is a face, if it's where the mouth is within that face, where the eyes are. It can recognize the shape of hands. It can recognize wrists. It can recognize where is the sky, where's the floor, if it's looking at a dog or a cat. So it uses machine learning to really be able to make the camera intelligent and know what it's looking at. Once the camera knows what it's looking at, then it's able to trigger special effects based on what it recognizes, and then overlay either 3D assets or 2D assets, images or videos based on what it recognizes. So for example, at Snapchat, we're very famous for putting dog ears on top of your head, and when you open your mouth, having a dog tongue come out, right? That's that technology. It looks very simple. It's a very simple kind of toy, but it's using very advanced machine learning and image recognition to know exactly where your head is, to put the ears, to know when you're opening your mouth versus having your mouth closed, and then putting that tongue that comes out. And just like that, you can very quickly then take that same technology and apply it for things that are a bit more complex or utilitarian, like identifying where your feet are and then putting a pair of sneakers directly onto your feet so that you can see what a new pair of Nike shoes or Gucci shoes look like and how they would fit on you. So you can really take that same technology and apply it in ways that are very impactful or just fun and entertaining. Both are totally okay. This is a more advanced, complex definition of what augmented reality is. But to make it simpler and to understand that this technology is really here today, here are some great examples on how people are using it today. And maybe they don't realize that this is AR, that this is augmented reality, that there's machine learning. We like to take all of that complex kind of technological jargon and make it a lot simpler, and make it easy for people to use and fun. And we've been doing that for over 10 years now. And you see the product and the results that we get here, right? And I'm sure many of you maybe have tried these experiences yourself and have fun with them. There's millions of people that use these and have a lot of fun with this kind of technology. Just to put that really into perspective, here at Snapchat, there's over 200 million people that use augmented reality every single day. And they're using it for over 30 times a day. So it's a massive frequency, massive scale. Just to put this into perspective, I believe Netflix today has just under 220 million subscribers worldwide. That's monthly subscribers, right? People that are subscribed constantly. We're talking about daily usage here in the case of augmented reality on Snapchat. And there's other interesting data points when you look at other social media platforms and the scale that they have. This is really massive when you compare it to how people are using internet and social media and different platforms. And I want to reemphasize the frequency in which they're using it and what they're doing with augmented reality. So they're not just using it, one time a day. They're actually using it more than 25 times a day on average. So in total, there's 6 billion people interacting with AR lenses on Snapchat every single day, right? So it's a massive, massive number. 200 million people use it every day, 25 times per day. We have 6 billion times a day of AR playtime. So it's really, really massive. And that usage is important because, again, it's really important to understand that this technology is here today. It's not a distant technology, as I mentioned before. It's really something that's happening today. And so there's a massive opportunity for your businesses, for your companies, to find consumers where they are, to be ahead of the competition and adapt these new consumer behaviors and really start to understand how you can leverage them for your business. And just to clarify again, this is just on Snapchat. This is just on our application. People are using augmented reality also outside of Snapchat in many other apps in many other ways. And so this is not just a solution for Snapchat. This is not just a technology that only lives in Snapchat. In fact, it lives, in many other channels and platforms. And that's why it makes it really important for companies to understand how you can leverage it. And here at Snap, we're thinking about how we can extend the technology beyond just Snapchat. And so we're starting to partner with companies to be able to bring augmented reality to their own applications and to their own channels. Here you see two great examples of that. The first one is with Puma, and directly into their app, our technology is powering their augmented reality product try-ons. So you can try new Puma sneakers thanks to the Snapchat AR technology. And similarly, on Samsung phones, directly in the default camera app, you're able to activate Fun Mode, which again is powered by Snap AR technology to be able to give users a more fun experience in Samsung's camera app. So a lot of exciting use cases. And at Snap, we really believe it's going to be a huge technology, not just for Snapchat, but way beyond outside of Snapchat specifically. And so when we think about all of this, we think about an ecosystem that requires for businesses to understand how can they create augmented reality, and then how can they distribute augmented reality? How can they get this in front of people, right? Once you have a piece of augmented reality created, how can you make sure you're reaching as many people as possible? How can you make sure you're reaching the right target audience for that augmented reality? And that's how we think about in the ecosystem here at Snap. And so we think about this flywheel. So we'll talk about specifically how you can leverage creation tools that we offer, and then how you can get this in front of the right people. So to start, we're going to look at some opportunities or some features on creating augmented reality. And just off the bat, I'd like to say that it seems like this might be very complex, very costly, that it might take a long time to do so. And that was true maybe 5-6 years ago. But today at Snap, we've done a lot of work to make this really, really easy for businesses to develop. And so first, we offer several free tools, software that you can use directly online, or software that you can download. This first one that you're seeing here on the screen is called Lens Web Builder. It's actually my favorite tool because I'm not a designer, I'm not a developer, I'm not an engineer, and this tool is built for people like me, maybe like you, that we don't know how to create 3D assets, but in this tool you can leverage pre-existing 3D assets and just combine them with your logo, with your slogan, with your product image, and very quickly be able to create a custom 3D AR asset for your brand. It takes a few minutes just to create that, and you're kind of seeing that in the screen there in the example of how it works. If you wanted to produce something a lot more advanced, we also offer a software that you can download onto your computers. It's called Lens Studio, and this offers all of the features that you've seen from Snapchat. And here you can code, you can use templates. It's both easy and advanced if you have the skills and capabilities to really go deeper. And for this software, we have many, many companies that we've partnered with that brands can hire in order to develop more advanced, customized AR experiences. And you might ask yourself, okay, you figure out how to create this. What can I create? What should I be creating? So one of the insights that we've learned over the years is that 74% of Snapchat users want to use augmented reality for shopping. And we think that's one of the biggest opportunities for companies and from brands, is to really take their e-commerce experience to the next level, leveraging augmented reality. So what does this look like? For users, it means being able to discover new brands, new products, browse through virtual stores and be able to find new products or discover new collections. Of course, as we've talked about and seen some examples, it means trying on products and buying them directly. So not just being able to see an image, of a pretty model or somebody that looks, really good in an edited photo in a studio. This is actually trying the product in the comfort of your home, directly onto yourself, and being able to decide whether you want to buy it or not, and take that buying action right away. So for us, the way that we think about it at Snap is that it goes from just thinking, this product looks good, to this product looks good on me. And you see here some examples. This spans from beauty and makeup to different kind of clothing accessories, full body outfits, and many different other applications in which you can do product try-ons. Beyond product try-ons, we've also seen many companies start to embrace digital wardrobes and really expanding the imagination and being able to create completely digital collections, completely digital fashion. And we see very exciting new features coming in this space specifically. And in that same line, I mentioned before our avatars, which are Bitmoji, you may be familiar with. Maybe you have a Bitmoji yourself. In fact, it's the most popular avatar in the world, with over 1 billion users having a Bitmoji avatar to date. And here we're partnering with a lot of exciting retail brands to be able to create clothing for these avatars. And you see here some examples from Nike, from Polo, where you can dress your Bitmoji with real clothing from these brands. So that's on the creation side and how you can apply the different technologies here. Now let's talk about distribution, right? You have your augmented reality piece. And one of the biggest challenges with some of the new technologies like AR, like VR and metaverses, is that not a lot of people are using these technologies, and it's hard to find the right audience, the right target audience for that technology. In the case of AR, that's completely different. We'll take a look at the different opportunities. So first, at Snap, we offer for companies to have public profiles for their businesses in order to distribute the augmented reality experience to the Snapchat user base. And so different than maybe profiles on other social medias here, the profiles are really centered around AR. We offer companies the ability to have a catalog of AR experiences that lives directly on their profiles. And there's no comments, any of that kind of stuff to worry about or to have to moderate. Really here is just users being able to find the augmented reality experience from your brand, from your company. Here are some examples of how companies are already doing this, from Gucci to Adidas and many others, that completely offer an augmented reality catalog directly on their Snapchat profiles. Beyond that, we also offer advertising. So many of you maybe are doing advertising campaigns on Facebook, on Google, on other platforms, and are familiar with doing digital marketing and being able to buy and maybe bid on a specific action or target a specific audience based on age, on lifestyles, on locations. You're able to do all of those same functionalities and apply them to augmented reality. So I always like to say augmented reality advertising on Snapchat is both as easy and advanced as doing a digital campaign on any other social or online platform. And finally, of course, as I had shown before, we think augmented reality should also live outside of Snapchat. And so we offer different ways in which companies can take their Snapchat augmented reality and extend it to other social channels, do email marketing campaigns, put it in store, put it on billboards, and even on their product themselves. And you see here some great examples on how you can augment your products through augmented reality. And just to wrap up, all of this is great, but if it doesn't drive real results, then it actually, doesn't matter as much and it doesn't have as much impact. And we've seen so many studies and so many success stories from brands that are embracing that technology. In fact, we see that there's a 94% higher conversion rate when you engage with augmented reality experiences. So it is a great opportunity, and regardless of what industry you're in, there's already ways in which you can be applying augmented reality to your business and creating real impact, not just innovating, not just doing something new, but actually creating impact for your businesses and your brands. Just to wrap up, a quick recap of how easy it is to try augmented reality on Snap. And as we talked about, one of the main messages that I hope it's clear is that AR is here today, is not something of the futureverse. It's not something that is coming down the line. It's really the present, but it's also the future. And at Snap, we're super excited about what's coming down and how much more this technology is going to develop, of how it's going to develop once we have more of these glasses in people's hands, and partnering with companies like you to think about what that future look like is really what excites us here at Snap. And we hope we're able to work together to build this future together. So with this, I'm going to wrap up and just thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. We'll love to hear from you. We'd love to hear about how we can partner together and any of your questions that you might have regarding augmented reality and just the metaverse in general. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm wishing you the best.